The insects buzzes around the trees, landing on branches and tree barks. A low grumble, followed by a tremor, scares them and causes them to flee. The birds within the trees, resting in their nests, flies away as well. A giant foot crashes down, followed by another. The kaiju inhales, then exhales. Still within his evolved state from 2 years prior, Godzilla II looks out into the Pacific. His attention is locked onto the JMSDF destroyers Hatakaze, Shimakaze, and Asakaze 3 to 4 miles offshore. The ships are keeping their distance from the island and the kaiju. He himself turns away from them to his right arm. He lifts it and bends it slightly. No twinge or pain. He closes his hand and grumbles. He shifts his eyes down. He lifts his left leg and stomps it back down. No pain. His bones are healed and his injuries are no more. He turns around and stares into the trees. He mutters a low bellow, then faces away to another island in the distance. Oshima Island is in his sights. His memory of the major battle still lingers, the one memory that he refuses to forget. The island's volcano, Mahara, is dormant now, but internally, he wishes that what is inside never awakens again. But to him, it is never a guarantee. Something suddenly triggers him, getting his attention. Something is within his territory that is the Pacific. He begins to walk forward. He exits the island's forest to its beach. His feet touches the ocean, and its temperature cools down his hot, charcoal black skin. The captain of the Hatakaze looks through his binoculars. He watches the kaiju king as he enters the sea and swims away from the shore like a crocodilian. Inform headquarters. He's on the move. Shinjuku, Tokyo. Inside of the command center of the Anti-Megalosaurus Force, an alert comes in from the destroyer. Sir, a message from the Hatakaze. Godzilla's on the move. What direction is he heading? He's heading south. Send a warning to the headquarters in Shikoku and Kyushu, and tell the destroyer squadron to follow him. Yes, sir. In multiple cities in Shikoku and Kyushu, the kaiju watch is in effect. Multiple divisions of the AMF are scrambling to their battle stations. The battle squadrons are moving out from their harbors to the open ocean. The news networks are getting the word of Godzilla's movements towards south. After a long period of inactivity, Godzilla is finally on the move again. He has been spotted leaving Miyake Island and is heading south. All residents are urged to take extreme caution and head to their local kaiju shelter immediately. Without a moment too soon, the people are heading to the shelters. Minato, Tokyo. In her room inside of the ERI building, the 5th floor, the Class S 4th rank Esper Miki Saegusa sees the beast swimming away. She lets out a light sigh as her eyes veers away from the television to the Honda twins, Kenjiro and Emiko. Suddenly, the phone rings. Green aura surrounds it, and it lifts from the receiver towards her ear as the woman herself pats the girl's head. Hello, Saegusa speaking.
Hey, it's Aoki. We got the go-ahead. Be ready to leave by tonight.
"12 soldiers of the 9th Infantry Company in Saegusa, wearing hazmat suits, walks through the forest. The leader of the company, Captain Kazuma Aoki, holds his Hawa Type 89 rifle as he leads his men into the dense forest on Miyake. Their flashlights provide a secondary way aside from the full moon. His partner, Colonel Fumio Sumeda, holds a Geiger counter and waves it around. The gauge is still in the middle, detecting moderate radiation in the area. Aoki turns his attention to Saegusa, walking beside him. Hey, are you okay? Huh? Yeah. Hey, relax. Godzilla's currently heading south. There's nothing to worry about. I know. It's just, we've noticed that he refused to leave the island before today. And every time we try to investigate, the memories of many attempts to land on the island only to be thrown off by Godzilla flows through her and the crew's minds. It had gotten so bad that the destroyer Yamaguri was heavily damaged on his port amidships by his golden spiral breath. Aoki, realizing it, shakes his head. Right. Well, just be glad that he isn't here this time. I guess. The readings on the Geiger counter grows. Hold on. The company in Esper stops. He lifts the counter up and steadily moves it to the left. The signal is getting weaker. He moves it to the right. The signal is getting stronger. It's coming from up ahead. What could it be? I guess we'll just have to find out. Let's go. The massive group continues on. Kazuma turns to look behind him, and he sees that Miki had stopped in her tracks. Her eyes are widened, and she is clenching her chest. Miki? What is it? Without saying a word, she runs ahead of the men, disappearing into the bushes. Wait! They run after her with no time to waste. Saegusa, far ahead, runs as fast as she can. She uses the full moon's light to guide her as she continues to run, and she hears the men of the 9th Infantry calling to her. She spots a bright light. She hears a low pitch in her ears. She runs a little bit more further. She runs through a pair of bushes, and then she stops. Oh my God. Moments later, Aoki cuts through the bushes, almost out of breath. Hey, why did you run ahead like that? His sentences stop the moment he and his company looks at what Miki is looking at. A human-sized, 6-foot-tall, 8-feet-wide egg lays on the ground. A dim light glows from within, shining on the humans. Well, son of a bitch. This explains a lot. Miki steps closer to it. She lifts her hand up and places it on the egg. He's a parent. A single parent. Wait, did he lay the egg himself? I don't know. It must have been left behind by another member of the species long before Godzilla came to the island. Oh God. Oh God. No pun intended, but why would you bring up that possibility? It's only a hunch. A hunch my ass. A beat gets their attention. Another beat is heard. But it is the sound of a heartbeat. Whoa, step back. He grabs her by her shoulders and carefully pulls her back. Whatever's inside of it is about to come into the world. The possibility of such is concerning for Saegusa. But yet, there is something else that is bothering her. An infant is about to be born, and she thinks that it could be a bad sign, considering the parent is not here. She turns her body to Aoki. We need to do something. What are we supposed to do? The father will be back soon. We don't know how long he's going to be gone for. This infant could die of starvation or worse. We need to bring him back with us. Aoki slightly shakes his head, utterly dumbfounded. What? Are you insane? We're not doing that! Listen! It's either that, or the infant dies and we are to blame for it. And what do you think will happen after that, huh? Looking into her eyes, she is dead serious and determined about the idea. His eye starts to the egg. Then, he places his hand on the visor. I'm gonna get chewed out for this. Fine. Miki smiles. Kazuma's colleagues talks to him, telling him to not go through with it. But he cuts them off and grabs his walkie-talkie. Captain Kamiya?
Yes, sir?
We have a Priority 1 package ready to be shipped off the island, over.
Medium or heavy?
The telekinetic Empress will transport it.
Understood.
Also, what's the current status of Godzilla?
Well, how do I explain this?
South China Sea, 11:05 p.m. The lightly unchallenged Red Fleet of Red Mongolia sails southwest towards Shanghai with amphibious assault troops, the 44th, 19th, and 27th Marine Divisions on board 6 of the 12 frigates. Rear Admiral Kubota stands in the bridge of the frigate Temi. He turns to one of his crew. We should be in Shanghai at dawn. Hard to believe that this war is going well for us. That's because of the lack of Chinese troops since 1992, and they don't have a navy, aside from 2 submarines. It's kind of sad, really. Yeah, it's a real shame that it would have been a struggle, but ever since the War of the Titans, there was nothing that they could do. Well, the Chinese can look on the bright side. At least our king will treat them quite nicely. Right, let's focus on the task in hand. A blip appears on the radar, getting their attention. Must be their submarines. Identify it! The radar operator looks at the device and sees the green dots getting closer to the fleet. It's a fleet of 3 destroyers? The entire crew in the bridge looks at the man baffled. What? It must be the Japanese. All guns face port. If the Japanese want a war, they got one. As the guns turns, a sailor on the conning tower looks out onto the port side. Against the full moon, he spots 3 rows of dorsal fins surfacing with a tail lifting out of the water. Holy merciful Tangri! He looks down to the crews below. It's a monster! A monster is approaching our port side! A monster? What kind of monster would... Approaching the left side of the bridge and staring out into the ocean, he spots the kaiju approaching the fleet. His face turns into fear. and the main 8-inch guns are ready to fire.
No, it can't be. Sir, we're waiting for the orders. All ships, brace yourselves!
Godzilla II's dorsal fins blasts through the water. He raises his head, spotting the cannons firing high explosive shells. Some of the shells hit his back, while the others miss completely. He ducks his head back underwater and dives under. As the cannon continues to fire, the beast dives even further. He stops himself from going any deeper. He turns upwards and dashes towards the surface. The kaiju breaches out of the sea, roaring and grabbing onto the frigate Temi. The other frigate surrounded fires, but their shells do not have any effect. His dorsal fins flickers blue, with gold lightning surging in between each. The golden spiral breath fires from his mouth, hitting 3 frigates. First and secondary explosions erupts, splitting the ships into 2. The crews on other ships fear for their lives, and most decides to abandon ship, even without the orders of the captains or the admiral. Godzilla turns his attention to the Temi and fires another golden spiral breath. Saegusa stands in room 886. Beside her, Aoki can only facepalm. I can't believe this is actually happening right now. Hey, at least it didn't crack on the way here. The doors opens, and the general of the JAMF walks inside. Shindo sees the egg as a makeshift habitat is being constructed. He turns his attention to the Esper. Miki, I'm starting to think that you hit your head too hard back in 1984. Saegusa turns to him. What do you mean?
What the hell is wrong with you? What if Godzilla finds out the egg is missing? Tokyo is still rebuilding! God, I'm surprised that we managed to get this thing on the ground. Trust me, sir, I tried to tell her, but she wouldn't listen. We can't risk the possibility of a kaiju hatching.
She turns her whole body to him.
Please, Shindo, it'll only be for a short time. Once Godzilla comes back, we'll give it back to him. No incident.
Miki!
Look at it this way. This could be the key to keep him from the home islands.
The man ponders on her offer and thinks very hard on it. He closes his eyes and groans. Fine. I'm going to hate every second of this. He turns around, and as the doors opens once more, he stops. Just so you know, Godzilla is attacking the Red Mongolians in China, so I hope you pay attention afterwards. He walks out with the doors automatically closing behind him. As day turns to night, outside of the Chinese capital Beijing, Godzilla battles against the Mongolian Red Army. Reports come to the MRA headquarters that its fighting forces are no match for the kaiju. The Mongolian king, Gentoga Ozawa, Gentoga Khan, can only grow frustrated by the day. First the original, now the second. Damn it all. The doors opens. Saegusa walks inside of room 886 with a cup of coffee in her right hand. She yawns, then stops next to the unfinished habitat.
So many things are happening all at once. I wish things would just slow down for a little bit.
She continues to stare at the egg as she sips on her coffee.
I have an idea on what's inside of it, but what will it do?
She turns around and prepares to exit the room. Suddenly, she stops. An energy pulse hits her senses.
Huh?
Miki turns her body around and looks at the egg again. Her eyes and body does not move. She concentrates on the energy pulsing from the egg.
Wait, is that the sound of...
1:35 p.m. Inside of the command center, General Shindo, sitting in his chair, is completely baffled.
Music?
Apparently, when she heard it, she wrote it down and got some composer to make it into music.
Pfft, that's absurd. There's no way that egg can produce music.
Did you forget what kind of egg it is? Whatever. Play it. Aoki takes on a disc and walks over to a panel. He inserts the CD into the slot. The main screen changes from Godzilla battling against the Mongolians in Shanghai to an MP3. The song that was recorded plays over the speakers of the center. All of the staff listens to the music. The notes being played are performed by an organ piano. Shindo sits back and listens. Interesting. Inside of room 886, Saegusa is floating, surrounded by her green aura, cross-legged and meditating with her telekinesis. The egg slightly rattles. Miki opens her eyes, but closes them immediately. Must be an earthquake. The egg within the makeshift habitat shakes. She opens her eyes once more, and notices that nothing else is shaking in the room. Her body slowly descends. The green aura fades away, and she becomes a little concerned. What the? She stands to her feet as the egg continues to vibrate. The area around it starts to shake. A dim light brightens from the inside. Saegusa spots something silhouetted against it. No way. Within the command center, the music continues to play. I don't know why, but this is very soothing. Saegusa takes 3 steps back as the egg glows even brighter, and the music grows louder. The lights within the room flickers as the egg glows to its brightest. A great force erupts from the egg. In an instant, Miki creates a bubble shield protecting herself. The force knocks away the fake bushes and trees. In the command center, the music stops and the alarm goes off.
What the hell? We're detecting a kaiju. Where is it? We're still tracking, sir.
The green bubble shield disappears. Saegusa breathes in heavily as her eyes locks onto the egg. The egg is no longer glowing, but the color has turned much darker. She hears a crack. Her eyebrows lifts. A crack appears on the front. A bear-like boxy head breaks through the shell. Miki makes an audible gasp. Hands claw at it. Its elephant-like feet stomps through. The reptile-like tail whips, flinging shrapnels of shell everywhere.
Sir, we got the kaiju's location. Where is it? It's 50 meters from our location? What?
A sudden realization dawns on the general and Kazuma.
Oh, shit!
Within room 886, the newly born creature raises its posture. It opens its eyes and sees the first human standing in front of it. It takes its first step from the remnants of the egg to the hard floor. Saegusa herself is shocked into silence. She steps back to keep her distance away from it. With each step it takes, she would back up. Miki's back touches the wall behind her and the creature stops. She takes a good look at it. It shakes its body, revealing the very small, dull dorsal fins on its back. It lifts its arm and scratches its bluish, black-striped crocodile-like skin and neck with very visible gills. Its moderate-sized eyes with yellow pupils continues to look at the telekinetic empress. The doors opens. 7 AMF soldiers with Howa Type 89 ARs rushes in, but they immediately stop and spots the hatched kaiju. They rush in front of Miki and aims at it. Kazuma comes into the room with Yasuaki following him, and they too spot the infant.
Holy shit!
The creature roars. The sound bounces off the walls and rings everyone's ears. As Aoki aims his rifle, Shindo gets close to Saegusa. My God. Miki, are you hurt? No, I'm fine.
What happened?
I don't know. One minute I was meditating like I usually do, then in the next, this thing hatched from the egg. Well, it looks like it's not having any trouble standing on its feet. He turns his head to Shindo. Well, General, it looks like I was right. Godzilla III. The infant shakes its head and grunts like a baby crocodile. So, what should we do with it? 2 people in lab coats, holding a notepad and a device in one of their hands, rushes into the room and spots the newborn. Amazing! Yeah, you can study it later. Right now, we need confirmation on its power level. Dr. Hitoshi Nakahara, with a Mark IV Davuma Power Analyzer, DPA, holds up the device without getting closer to the third. The device scans the creature from head to toe. Numbers appears on the screen indicating a power level. Okay, this should tell us if it is a
2.5?
The soldiers and Esper looks at him stunned.
What? Wait, this thing is already a Category 1 trooper? How is that possible? I thought all infant kaiju are supposed to be minors at birth.
They are. But this is something I never expected.
Well, however he did it, we should do our best to examine and research on him.
Wait, he? Oh yeah, it's a male. Oh, that's great. Godzilla III takes a step forward. The soldiers tightly holds their rifles, continuing to aim at him. Saegusa suddenly steps through them and walks up to him.
Miki? Miki, what are you doing?
I need to test something.
Test what? Getting your arm chomped off? Just trust me on this one. Men, stand by, just in case something happens.
The soldier stands firm. Miki, with each tiny step at a time, gets closer to the man-sized creature. He sniffs her hand. She lightly touches his snout. He grunts, allowing her to gently rub him. Well, I'll be damned. He's docile. The soldiers lowers their rifles. Miki removes her hand from his snout. He continues to grunt, causing the woman to unexpectedly smile. Well, Doctor, you can start your research. Thank you, sir. Godzilla II's still in China. What should we do with the third? We'll just have to take care of him until the father comes back.
Whoa, back up. We can't do that. The space isn't a zoo.
Well, what other choice do we have at this point? I hate to say it, but she's right. Huh? With what's going on in China, we don't know how long it's going to last. And I'm guessing the Mongolian leadership are going to have a fit with us. Until then, Miki, he's your responsibility. That goes for you too, Kazuma. Aoki turns to the general.
What? Why me?
It was your decision to take him off the island, was it not?
Yeah, but Miki.
Enough. That is a direct order. Men, return to your stations. I'm going to need 2 guards and a cleanup team. Someone's going to clean up the loose egg around here. The 7 soldiers walks out of the room with Shindo following behind them. Saegusa looks at the disappointed Aoki. Hey, look on the bright side. At least it won't be that bad. Please, don't jinx it.